Hello everyone! Welcome to the first flight I'm doing live on YouTube in English. This is my second channel. I'm mainly doing commentary in Polish, but now I'd like to share my flying with some more people. Today I'm doing IFR training in Dubrovnik, Croatia. It's a very interesting airport with some nice IFR approaches. Well, in these conditions I have today, they may be a little challenging. Let me show you how the airspace here looks like and what exactly am I doing and, well, why Dubrovnik? First, it's a beautiful city, it's a beautiful old medieval town in Croatia. You may know it if you have visited Croatia, and you may know it from several movies and series. Recently it was featured on the Game of Thrones. But from the aviation standpoint, from pilot's point of view, it's very interesting because there's a complicated airspace around the city. Take a look at the map and see how the Bosnia and Herzegovina airspace abounds this airport on the northern side, and you have Serbia and Montenegro to the east from the airport, and some mountains just north from the airport, parallel to the runway. The mountains are very close, you can see them in the scenery. So there's this 1,000 or 2,000 feet high ridge just north from the airport, and quite dangerous to fly around the airport in the clouds. Today I'll be doing two approaches. I will do ILS approach to runway 12 and then circle to land on runway 30, and then I will make another approach, a VOR approach to runway 30 with circling maneuver. Conditions today are as follows. Winds from direction 300 at 12 knots, clouds starting at 2000 feet and with tops at about 3500. Temperature is 13 degrees centigrade, so there's no danger of icing in these clouds. Hello guys, hello Robin, hello Vladimir. Okay, I'm flying Cessna 182 from A2A, and I've already completed my pre-flight inspection. I don't need to do any passenger briefing alone, and I can proceed straight to startup. I will start it up and then I will do departure briefing. I will show you how the procedure leads me out of this airport. I will fly towards Dubrovnik or Kolochep NDB, enter holding there, and then proceed to my approach training. Hello John. Okay, before starting, engine checklist. Pre-flight inspection complete, passenger briefing complete, doors locked. Yes, locked on both sides. Seats and belts adjust and lock. Let's say I did that. Brakes set. Parking brake is set. Circuit breakers check in. They are all in. Electrical equipment off. Avionics master switch must be off. It is off. Cowl flaps open. Cowl flaps. Fuel selector both. It's on both. Avionics circuit breakers all in. Or all are in. Okay. Starting engine. Throttle open 1/4 of inch. 1/4 of inch. Okay. Prop high RPM. Mixture idle cutoff. Propeller area clear, there's no one here. Master switch on. Flashing beacon on. I always keep it on. Fuel pump on. Mixture reach for a couple of seconds. Now back to cutoff. And fuel pump. Close my window for this. Once again, look around. No one is near the plane. Thank you, Michał. I will try to adjust my mic to correct this. Okay. I changed the voice gate, so now it will the sound will not stop that early. Okay, ignition, start, prop clear. Engine is started, mixture reach. Let's check if everything is on green or below. Oil pressure coming up, now it's on green. Vacuum is low, but at this RPM it's normal. Ammeter shows positive charging, so it's charging the battery. Everything is okay. Flaps up. I lowered them for my pre-flight. Nav lights. This will be IFR training, so I will use nav lights. I wouldn't use them normally if I was flying VFR during the day, but in clouds they may help. They may help see me if there's any traffic in vicinity. Avionics master switch on. Radios. Wrong. I should choose 2000 because it's IFR flight in Europe. Sorry. Okay, I will need DME. Let's check once again if the generator is working. Emitter shows charging. I will flash my landing lights for a moment to see if there's a change. It changed. The needle showed the changes when I turned on my lights, and where the load on the generator changed, and now heading indicator set. It's working automatically in Cessna 182 with this HSI, so I just need to confirm if it is okay. It shows 291, and I have the same on my compass. Altimeter. Low pressure area in here it's 29.5 or 999 millibars. Okay, departure briefing. I'm departing runway 30, so I'm heading more or less in the western direction. I will do my departure from E taxiway. I don't need the full runway length. The runway here is 3,300 meters long, so departing from taxiway crossing will give me enough space for the takeoff. Then I'm using standard departure procedure, and I will head for Kolochep NDB here. So I just tune in the 298 radial from Dubrovnik VOR, and then I will try to home on this NDB at 318 kHz. Then I will do ILS approach to runway 12. It's the approach shown on this map, and circle to land maneuver shown here to land into the wind on the 30 runway. Take a look at this maneuver. It's very precisely defined here, unlike the usual circle to land where you have a lot of freedom and you can just turn right or left 30 degrees. Here you need to follow the strict procedure and do your turns at points defined by these radials of Dubrovnik VOR. Then I will do touch and go landing. Once again head to Kolochep NDB and get back to Dubrovnik via this VOR runway 30 circling approach. So I will go along this route away from NDB, then do ARC-DME procedure in here, fly inbound radial inbound on the course 316, and maneuver to land on runway 30. Okay, back to airport charts. I'm parked in general aviation area in here, so I just need to taxi right and once again right towards taxiway India and Echo. Let's check if the engine is warm. It is. The temperature is around 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Everything is in green. I will flash my taxi lights. I will turn them on, and everyone will see that I'm intending to move. I'm approaching holding point for runway 30. I will do takeoff briefing there and engine run up. So I'll check if ignition works correctly and if the engine produces enough power for takeoff. Hopefully, if something is damaged, it will show up during the run up. Okay, I will start with the run-up. So, RPM at 1800. Okay, it's 1800. Now, let's check magnetos. Left, and there is a slight drop, like 80 or 90 RPM. Right magneto. The same thing. The drop should be no higher than 150 RPM or 175 RPM, and the difference between right and left magneto shouldn't be higher than 50 RPM. Vacuum pump in green. Emitter shows that the battery is already charged. Once again, I will check if switching on landing lights shows some change. It did. Okay, let's cycle through the prop controller. There should be an RPM drop now. There is. Okay, once again, high RPM. And the takeoff briefing. It's a normal takeoff from runway 30. Runway length is 3,300 feet. It's the full length. I'm using like 3/4 of it. Liftoff will be done at 60 knots, somewhere between 50 or 60 knots. And I will climb at VY, it's 80 knots in Cessna 182. The wind is coming from 330 at 12 knots, so it's a takeoff directly into the wind. There is no crosswind component. There are no gusts. There is no reported turbulence after departure. After departure, I'm heading straight towards Kolochep NDB at 318 kilohertz. I will tune it now. And I will follow radial 298 from VOR Dubrovnik. It's 115.4. I will tune it also here, so 115.4. I like to have all my frequencies tuned to both radios, so that I can use whichever instrument I need at any moment. I will also tune the other NDB that's here. It's CAFTAT. Along my departure procedure, it's at 397. It's 397, so I have it on standby. And I will tune ILS frequency for my approach. It's always better to do it in advance, so why not here? It's 110.1. 110.1. Okay. I'm ready for takeoff. I'm flying offline, so there is no ATC on this airport. I'm not using the ATC provided by Prepared because I don't think it's doing any good. Usually I would fly on that sim, but the weather in Dubrovnik currently is much different from what I needed, so I didn't want to do some strange remarks about unreal weather I'm using. And there is no ATC on that sim in Dubrovnik too, so that wouldn't change anything. So in real world I would just receive my takeoff clearance at this point. Here I will just check if no one is coming to this runway. Yeah. You have to admire the great visibility from the 182. Okay, flaps, small flaps, strobe lights, landing lights, transponder. Elevator trim recheck, it's set for takeoff, and I'm ready to go. Parking brake is off. Prop is set on high RPM, mixture full reach, flaps are set, lights are set, everything is ready to go. Full throttle. $60 knots and up. ADF is alive. It shows direction to the Kolochep NDB. I'm past 80 knots, so I will climb a little steeper just to keep my speed at VY, so the best rate of climb speed. And for the Cessna 182 it's 80 knots. I'm at 1000 feet above ground, flaps up. Okay, I'd like to get to 4000 feet, cruise climbing at 90 or 95 knots. I have to recheck my settings in active sky, because I don't think it's precise enough. It should be overcast at 2000 feet. The clouds are a little higher. I will engage autopilot now and concentrate on active sky to make it work properly. You can see Dubrovnik just below me. Let's ignore that at this point. Once again, 4,000 feet. Show over here. Okay, I had better correct barrel settings for the altimeter, because it's trying to get me much higher than I'd like to be. Okay, 2950, and it's set. Altitude and heading. Okay, I'm adding another layer of clouds. Maybe this will help. Okay. And let's see what happens. Go over here. It's not exactly what I expected, but no, it is. Overcast at 1400 feet above airport, so at around 2000 feet. It's exactly what I needed. Okay, I'm close to Kolochep NDB right now. When passing Kolochep NDB, I will enter this holding pattern here, so I will do a teardrop entry like this, turning 30 degrees left and then right to intercept the course 109 to Kolochep NDB, and then I will do the full racetrack maneuver to intercept ILS guidance. the ADF needle started moving left. It shows that I'm close to this NDB. Okay, now left 30 degrees. It should be 259. And let's count 1 minute. I love the timers and RME functionality on this radius. It's just like on the real plane. Actually, the outbound leg of this holding or racetrack pattern is limited by 17-mile DME readout, so I will use this 17 miles to turn back to the ILS. I'm at 4,000 feet, just like I should be for this approach. ILS heading is 115. I don't need to change it here, but it will make it easier to maneuver. It's 16.4. 16.5, another half mile. And 17 miles. Left to intercept, right, turning right to intercept ILS. This ILS doesn't has no DME, so I need to tune in VOR frequency. For DME it's 115.4. Okay. I love conditions like this. There's somewhere in front of me there's an invisible radio beam that will guide me to Dubrovnik airport. It shows on my HSI. Course deviation indicator is closing to the middle. I can switch my autopilot into nav mode. And now it will follow the CDI or course deviation indicator needle. Now I'm slightly below the glide slope. When I pass the glide slope, I will engage approach mode on the autopilot, and it will follow the glide slope down towards the airport. Approach mode on. I don't exactly understand why the DME is not reading the distance from the VOR, but I don't really need it, I just wanted additional confirmation. I'm going down at low power, so I will close my cowl flaps so the engine doesn't get too cold. Okay, Cessna follows the glide slope, follows the localizer signal, so I'm going down. Hello, Alexander. No. What do I know from my circling chart? My minimums are 1,300 feet altitude. So this is the lowest I can go without actually seeing the airport. Airport inside. Now I need two frequencies. Cuff that on my ADF and the 414 so or Gruda NDB for my approach. I mean this one, Kaftat, and this one, Gruda. Alexander, can you text me something more about this championship? I should turn to 148 over cuff.ndb. I will keep this altitude, 1600. Okay, I'm over Kaftat. Right to 148. and I need to tune in Dubrovnik VOR. It's 292, I'm looking for 238 radial, and then I will turn left to 115. And there's the airport. I have to say I like this airport very much. It's very nice, and the vegetation around it is modeled very nicely. 136, 138 or 136, it doesn't matter. 148, 145. Let's turn. It's time to slow down. The next turn will be at 149 radial from Dubrovnik, and I need Gruda NDB for guidance on final approach. Okay, the speed dropped to 100. Let's keep it here. Mixture rich, prop fall, high RPM. Okay, it's high RPM. Now and small flaps. I'm on radial 168 and it's changing rapidly, so it's time to disengage the autopilot. One 156, 155. Almost there. Okay, now I can turn left. Well, Alexander, I don't know if I have enough time for this, but it sounds very interesting. Okay, slightly high according to puppy lights, but I actually prefer to be slightly high in a single engine propeller aircraft. It's easy to lose some altitude, and in case of engine trouble it's much safer to be higher than lower than you need to. Okay, I'm on final. Flaps 20. I don't need full flaps for this landing. It's not a short field or anything like that. And while I'm descending, I can brief myself on what I'm doing next. So I'm doing this touch and go landing, then I'm flying towards Kaftat NDB, so I will bring it back on my ADF. Then I need to tune the other NDB. It was called Kolochep NDB. And following radial 298, I will fly towards Kolochep. Once again enter this holding over Kolochep, then proceed to VOR approach runway 30 circling. Okay, flaps 10, full power. Michał, I'm actually thinking about flying it in 747 because I noticed that this airport can handle 747s, and it might be even more interesting in such a big plane, heavily loaded at high speed and with all these turns and actually it's a very tight approach, so tight maneuvers, so it will be really demanding. Okay, I need 298 radial. I'm arming 4,000 feet on my autopilot. Nav mode. And Kolochep, it's 318. Okay, 318 straight in front of me. Cruise climb settings, go flaps. Alexander, no, I don't think I'd like to practice fan stop on return because I will be flying a different approach, and it actually can end in a disaster if a prop quits. I will show you guys now. Okay. Next comes this approach. It's forward to runway 30, so I'm flying I'm flying QDM. It's QDM 153 from Kolochep NDB. I'm flying it for 19 miles. Then I'm entering ARC DME for Dubrovnik VOR. It's 11-mile arc. And then I'm turning to course 316 to approach the airport. And only here I'm actually over land, so any engine trouble would lead to a swim in the Mediterranean Sea. So I don't think I would like that. Well, I actually would like that. I love Croatia and Mediterranean Sea for holidays, for summer holidays, but it's 13 degrees outside, so I don't think it's the best. It's the best thing to go swimming now. Oh, sorry. This is how the plane looks from the outside, and you can see Dubrovnik just below me. Well, that's all. Overcast clouds. Sometimes it really shows like overcast. Okay, once again, what will I need for this approach? I definitely need VOR, so I'm tuned to Dubrovnik VOR. It is Delta Bravo Kilo, and I need some NDBs. I will fly from Kolochep NDB, so it's at I actually hate this map, this chart. It's terribly drawn. Kolochep is 318, so I will tune 318, then fly outbound on course 153 towards point Olegu, that I will recognize by passing radial 235 from Delta Bravo Kilo. Then I will fly another 7 miles to start this ARC DME procedure. And it sounds simple. Okay, I'm passing Kolochep, so once again teardrop entry into this holding or racetrack. Okay, back to the chart. Do I need to know about any restrictions? Okay, I'm flying at 4,000 feet until point Olegu. Then I can descend to 3,200 feet. And I keep this altitude just until forward approach fix. So until 8.4 DME from Delta Bravo Kilo. Okay, 1 minute passed. I don't need to go as far as I went in the previous flight, because now I'm on a different approach. So I'm just flying now towards Kolochep DME. Sorry, Kolochep NDB. and from there it's 153. I hate flying QDMs. It's really challenging, especially in a plane equipped like this Cessna 182. So I will need to adjust my ADF. It would be very easy if I flew with no wind, then I would just turn to 153 over this NDB and fly straight. But I'm not flying in a still air, I'm flying with some wind that will push me away from my track, and I really need to keep this track, at least I'm supposed to. So what I will do, I will correct this compass scale around my ADF so that it shows a real direction I'm going, and then I will try to keep the needle of ADF at 153. Actually, I will try it keeping it on opposite heading to 153, but I think you know what I mean. There are no speed restrictions that would affect me. There is a speed restriction for ARC-DME procedure, and it's 180 knots, and I'm not able to reach that speed, so it's not a problem. Okay, I am over this NDB. So now let's turn, and then I need to establish myself on this QDM. Flying QDM means flying on the course shown by the ADF. So it's not exactly the heading. I need to correct my track. Well, it's flying track 153 from this NDB. So I'm not flying heading 153. I need to correct for wind. Okay, so the basic idea is that when you have ADF compass scale showing the same heading you're flying into, the ADF needle should show 153 and the opposite. So yeah, when it shows what it would be, so when it shows exactly 333 or 333, then I'm good. Doesn't, so I will correct more aggressively. So now I'm flying. Now I'm flying 163 or something like that. Okay, 163. Okay, now it's on 330, 3 degrees small. And I said I need the point of leg will be shown by passing radial 235. Okay, now it's like 331, so my correction is good. Okay, I'm on radial 259, so I'm getting closer to Point Olegu. Once again, I'm talking about this situation here. I'm flying QDM 153 and I'm looking for radial 235 readout on my radio, so on the right side of the top radio panel. Okay, now I have 333 on my ADF, so let's change the wind correction slightly. Once again. Now I'm flying heading 155. No, it's more 160. Do the same here. And the ADF needle shows exactly what it should. 240239, so I'm closing to Point Olegu. I'm somewhere here. 236 and now 235. Okay. Altitude change 3200. And now I'm looking at my DME. Another point of this approach is here, where I need to change to arc DME at 11 miles. So I'm looking at DME, it shows 9.2. I'm good. Now I just need to wait until DME shows 11 or let's say 10.5, and then I will be able to turn left to stay on this arc. Okay, 3200. 10 miles from DME. Closing. Okay, I'm turning left to stay on 11-mile arc, and I don't have RMI here, so radio magnetic indicator isn't available here, and it helps a lot when doing DME arcs, but I can tune in Gruda NDB, and it's quite close to this VOR, so it should also help me navigating. Gruda is 414. And I will also need it later on, so it's good to have it. Okay. Okay, it's slightly in front of my plane, so I need to turn left, and the distance also closes, so now it's 10.7, I should be at 11. Let's go a little further from this NDB. So I'm slightly here and I should be exactly at this line. Now 10.8, the distance grows. 10.9. I'm turning at radial 143 to intercept radial 163 or course and track 316. So I'm watching when 143 will appear on my radio, and I will select course 316. And once I'm established on 316, as you can see here, I can descend to something above 1675 feet. Michał, I don't know what the god is an astronaut is. So no, it's just this patch of sky. I would send you a link, but I'm a little overworked here. Yes, I thought so, but I just don't know. I don't know the song you mentioned, and okay, I will try to. Okay, it's this one. Here you have it. Okay, 10.9 on the DME, it's close enough for me. And it's radial 146 from Delta Bravo Kilo. I will be turning left in just a moment. Once again, closing to this point. Okay. Once again, CDI needle is alive. It's approaching the center line, so I'm almost on the right track towards the airport, and I can descend to, let's say, to 1800. Nav mode engaged. Now I don't need to correct for the wind, and the autopilot will keep me on this track. Do any of you use this eavesdrop camera add-on? I have a question. Well, maybe I don't have. I just wanted to ask about this slight movements of aircraft in the outside camera, but now I see it's working. I think it didn't work clear. Okay, so this is the scenery, the airport, and everything we need to see. I'm at 7 miles. I should be at the missed approach point is at 3.8 miles from the VOR, from the DME. By this point I should see the airport. Now I see the airport, so I will proceed with this approach and land the plane. Okay, autopilot is off. Mixture is rich. Drop RPM high. And at 3.8 I should miles I should head towards Gruda NDB. That's why I'm turning right. Now straight into this NDB. Now I'm over Gruda NDB. Small flaps. Flaps 20. A little steeper than I wanted, but it's quite okay. With a slight headwind, I will lose this altitude without any problem. I could even go steeper and use full flaps here, but it's not necessary. I don't think so, at least. Or is it? Once again, it's a very long runway, so I don't need to land right on the threshold here. I can land slightly lower down the runway, but now I'm good. Lights are on. Drop to max RPM, mixture reach. In case of a go around, I'm ready. But it doesn't look like a go around. The runway is clear. If there was an ATC, they would clear me to land. Throttle to idle. A gentle landing. Flaps up, and let's see where the taxiway is. Is it Delta? Delta. Okay, that's what I was looking for. I love this scenery. Just look at this airport in the slide. I will stop here momentarily to turn off the transponder. Blending lights, I don't need them. Strobe lights, so that I don't flash into the eyes of anyone who's standing nearby. Okay, and back to general aviation apron. And number 5. If I remember correctly, I was parked just next to the Cessna on the general aviation apron, so I will go forward. Then after stand number 1 there is a taxiway towards G1 to G5 stands, and another taxiway to G6, 7 and 8 stands on general aviation parking, and then I will go to my stand. Okay, this was the first, the second, and I'm using the third taxiway. And G7 parking, so it's right here. Slightly forward. Time to secure the airplane. Go flaps closed. Avionics off, radio, ADF, transponder, DME. Flaps are up. Taxi lights off, nav lights off. Avionics off. Engine fuel cut out. Engine has stopped, prop has stopped. Ignition off and master switch off. I will also select fuel tank selector. Moved to off. Controls lock. Tie downs. Pitot cover and wheel checks. That's what I needed. Okay, thank you for coming with me to this training. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. If you like this flight, please subscribe or press this thumbs up button, or just share the news about this channel and come back to my next flights. I will be doing some training flights, some cross-country flights, mostly general aviation, but I also fly 737 and 747, so you can join me on any other flights I do. So, once again, hope you like it, and goodbye.